All right, tonight we are on to Gemini and Sagittarius. We're going to start this one as Gemini. The next reading that comes out will be Sag. And tonight's tea fortune says, you are the master of your judgments, your decisions, and your actions. I've been getting a lot of, in the my collective readings, zodiac readings, about not having control over much except how we decide to respond to whatever is going on in our lives. And there's been a lot about needing to be careful with what we choose to do, because depending on where it comes from, what our intentions are with it, it can hurt us. It can hurt yourself. Yes, maybe you'll get a little jab back, but does that really benefit you at the end of the day? All it really does is lower your vibration. And there's something going on where you need to be as high vibrational as you can be for when it comes to your own goals and where you're trying to get your life to go. Because if you lower your vibration, chances are you won't be able to see things as they are, if that makes sense. You would end up missing out on opportunities because you'd be distracted by whatever it is that you're going on, because you've sunk to that level, if that makes sense. All right, we're going to go ahead and get right into the reading. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I feel called to use. Yup. I'm going to start with Moonology. Surrender to the divine. I've also been seeing a lot of people needing to let go of something. Release something that no longer serves, something that's not meant to go with you. And that could be many things. It could be a person, it could be a mindset, a belief, people, places, things, a job. And I've been seeing a lot about emotions running high to the point where we want to grasp, hold on to, and control things that aren't in your control. Going back to that, the only thing that we have control over is ourselves and how we decide to move through our lives, these trials and tribulations. I've been seeing it across all of the zodiac signs that I've been doing for like the past week. We got a new start is coming. New moon. A time to give rather than take, new moon in Virgo. I see this card as needing a time of healing and self-love, filling up your own cup. When our emotions are running high and we want to make something happen, sometimes we're pushing ourselves too hard. Pushing ourselves for productivity, for outcomes, results. No, we're not doing that, my friends. Oh, look at that. You and your loved ones are safe. I'm not going to read all of those. I'll try to see if I surrender to the divine back on the bottom of the deck. I will see what I make of this. You and your loved ones are safe. Step out of your comfort zone. Work through your fears. Confidence is your key to success. A new romantic cycle begins is the card that flew out and I'm going to be keeping. The step out of your comfort zone speaks to moving toward your north node, your purpose, the thing that you're supposed to move toward. You and your loved ones are safe. I see this card as everything's going to be okay. I also see this card as I actually want to use an example for this. Sometimes people have a hard time settling down with someone because they have high standards, because they're trying to choose somebody who would be good for their future children, their future family, somebody who would add to it. And I think maybe this is confirmation for that, however you want to take that. Work through your fears. I think that when we're stepping out of our comfort zone and heading toward the thing that we were put here to move toward, you're walking away from everything that you've ever known into something that you don't know, something that you may not have any knowledge about. Or not much knowledge about, and maybe not much knowledge on how to integrate it or to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And our fears can be about not being worthy enough, good enough, smart enough, made of the right stuff, if that makes sense. Confidence is your key to success. Confidence is being scared and doing it anyway. Being afraid of what you look like and doing it anyway. And doing it like you're not scared at all. Faking it until you make it. What is that? I keep thinking euthanasia. What is that? Euphoria? Is that what it is? That series, I think it's Euphoria. Euthanasia. It's EU something. One of the girls is popping into my head and she goes, I feel stupid all the time in whatever I wear or whatever I'm doing. And I'm not saying it 100% right, but her face is popping into my head. But she's like, but I do it anyway. And it's just crazy because she comes off as the most confident person in that entire show. And you wouldn't think for one moment that she feels stupid about anything that she does. Okay, so let's go ahead and read about those and see if I feel called to look into anything else. I'm still thinking about euthanasia. Don't ask me why. Could be a message for some of you, or confirmation maybe that this reading's for you. I don't know. A new start is coming. There is a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed and you are on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way. Be that on a new or better course or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. Maybe that's where that confidence comes in. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. A new start is on its way. You will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. Forget about the past. All right, new moon in Libra. 54. Give and take could well be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start negotiating or even renegotiating. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there is a restart for you and for someone else. A new relationship could be beginning, and if that's the case, the chances are this will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whoever is at the heart of the issue you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish. It won't get you anywhere at this time. Attune to the moon. Reach out to someone and let them know you care. Additional meanings for this card. Feel more, think less. Marriage or engagement is on the cards. A legal matter will go your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. Okay, and then surrender to the divine. And behind surrender to the divine, we got adjustments are required. Since that is behind surrender to the divine, I think that there is a lot happening behind the scenes that which you don't know about. Things that you can't control, and if you try controlling, it'll just slow everything down, or it'll take you out of the energy to receive. Where is that? Oh, 32. I'm getting red. I feel quite warm. Whew. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life is coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change, and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude, and you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor, as this is a positive card, but you may need to work harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. I am getting the answers I need. A wish you made may be about to come true. It's make or break time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm. You may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. It's time to let go of the past and move on. I think this brings us back to the very beginning of this, when I talked about emotions being high and there being a lot of fear and a sense of wanting to control every outcome. Okay. What do I want to do? Do I want to go into the tarot? I'm feeling called to the Black Tarot. The Black Tarot was designed for shadow work, looking at yourself, looking at what you need to do. Need to check something real quick. Oh, that's nice. Why is that suddenly not working? Sorry. My phone's not charging like it should be. And it really needs to be. One second. All right, we're golden. We're back to charging. All right, and we're moving into the Black Tarot. What does Gemini need to know? I'm also seeing a lot of purple. Purple is connected to the crown chakra, and the crown chakra is blocked by attachments, the need to control, attachments to outcomes, things, people, places, things, yada yada. And the best way to clear that blockage is, of course, to work on the other chakras, because they're all connected, but also placing a focus on releasing your attachments, releasing the need for outcomes or things, and connecting to a sense of surrender and detachment. However that looks for you. Practicing gratitude goes a really, really long way in those situations. These situations, it makes letting go just a little bit easier because you've got something happy and good to focus on. Realizing that you have everything that you need. Okay, Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. What does Gemini need to know? I'm so tired. What does Gemini need to know? Is there anything else for Gemini to know? No? Okay. We've got death at the bottom of the deck, which is a very good thing. I think I enjoy getting to see signs of change. I always have like this craving for something drastic to happen that just changes everything. I usually don't like it in the moment when it's actually happening, but it's just like, yeah, I prayed for that. Oh boy. Sorry. All right. We got the High Priestess, the King of Swords. Then the Seven of Wands came out. I should show you the first ones. Don't ask me what I'm doing, because apparently I don't know. The High Priestess. I am currently making the connection about how she looks like a skeleton, just like in the Death card. Then we have the King of Swords. Look at all that is bursting from his mind. The Seven of Wands. And the Six of Spheres. Okay, so at the bottom of the deck, we saw the Ten of Swords, so perhaps there's the Ten of Swords usually signifies some sort of ending. I'm blanking a little bit, excuse me. Hmm. 10, a warning card telling you to accept that a situation or relationship is ruined and it's time to move on. Maybe something has come to an end. Maybe that's why there's this new beginning here. A new start. That's what we saw at the beginning of the reading, so maybe that's something that you've already dealt with. And here we have transformation at the bottom of the deck. Things are still in the works. As I said, with adjustments being required and surrender to the divine. Nothing to be afraid of. My face is very warm. Death represents endings in the cycle of life and the power of regeneration. Death as an archetype is the 13th encounter for the Fool. It reminds us that life is finite, which helps us strive to be better, not take experiences for granted, and see the importance of living a worthwhile life. Alright, let me go ahead and put this part of the reading together. The High Priestess. The High Priestess represents the knowledge and the enlightenment that we attain by overcoming difficulties. The High Priestess archetype is the second encounter for the Fool, indicating that we must learn about our intuition, how to trust it, and when to seek guidance from others. King of Swords. You oversee the decision and do not need input from others. Make your choice and inform others once you've decided. So I feel like these cards are talking about using your intuition to make a decision, using past experiences to make a decision. I don't know what this decision might be about. Maybe you've already made this decision. Maybe you've decided that you didn't like where something was going, what was going on in a situation. I think that makes a lot of sense considering that there's a new start coming in something. Probably a romantic type of thing. Maybe in making this decision, you've sparked transformation. Who knows what that could be in? Perhaps it's transformation in the relationship itself. Perhaps it's transformation within you, and now you don't need the same things, want the same things that you wanted before. This could speak a lot to closing something out for good and moving on to something different because you've created that transformation for yourself. But with the Seven of Wands, it speaks to, I'm actually going to read it because otherwise I'm going to screw it up. Because I have it in my head, but I'm going to have a hard time properly describing it to you. Wish my face wasn't so warm. You are right. Hold your ground. Any lack of integrity will be your downfall. So this is talking about this decision that you made. Stay strong in it. Whatever decision that you've made, you were right to make it. You were right to cut things off in such a way that created transformation. But how you carry yourself is everything, as I've said before. This is a theme that keeps coming up. You can cut something off, but if you do it in such a way where you're very malicious and hurtful and mean and self-serving, you're only going to hurt yourself and lower your vibration. And like I said before, if you lower your vibration, you're not going to be open to what comes next. You won't be able to see it. And then we have the Six of Spears to look at. My face is really, really warm. All the way down here. Ugh. Don't mind me. I'm feeling flushed. Alright. Six of Spheres. Share your wealth and success. Be grateful for what you have achieved. sometimes I have another reading that's popping into my head. It was Virgos from last week. What you master is what you teach. So maybe there's a bit of self-mastery going on within this situation, and you will be called to share it, to teach somebody else. It's also asking you to be grateful for what you have, how far you've come. All right, we are going to go ahead and leave that there. There really isn't much else for me to build on. I hope this served as confirmation for you. And if you're going through a hard time, I hope it helps pull you out of the sort of distraction that fear and pain can be. Have a good night.